much. Just a year ago, all the talk was about crypto assets, bitcoins, and its multiple evolutions. And today I'm going to shift and talk more about e-money. In particular, I'm going to focus on stable coins and how they relate to central bank digital currency and what it might mean for the international financial system.
Most of you know about XRP and the other things that Ripple is doing. He's been a CTO in the industry for some time. In prior work, he did encrypted cloud storage and encrypted enterprise messaging and many other areas where he brings expertise. So I'll turn it over to Tobias for 20 minutes. Thanks, Tobias.
Yeah, wonderful. It's very nice to see many friends online.
Today's global financial system is more complex than ever before, yet as the world's economies grow, the infrastructure they rely on needs to evolve. Every nation has its own independent monetary policy and regulatory standards.
To use new technologies for policy purposes, having a common ledger, perhaps run by the central bank.
We'll stop here. So, our first panelist is Tobias.
It relates to is working on enabling transaction between two countries. That was a gold Telegraph relating to on Twitter. Get Proverbs, was it 22 and 7? The rich ruleth over the poor. So the rich, that's the ones in a position of power. They ruleth over the poor. The 1% rule over the 99%. And the borrower is a servant to a lender. And the servant is what? A slave, man. Another word for servant is slave. You're a slave to that lender, man, because they're in a position of power, man. Go to and really, humanly aspect, we all slaves to the system. Even we're slaves since we were put on this earth through Social Security numbers, birth certificates. So we're ownership. We're property of that corporation, which is the U.S., man, America, man. We all property of that corporation, man. So the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. That's Proverbs 22 and 7. We'll go Proverbs 18, something quick right here. Make sure it's 18th chapter, you said. Yeah, 18 and 23. the poor uses entreaties. Entreaties is to beg, beseech. So they be begging, man. Or remember, the poor is at the mercy of the rich, man. But the rich answer roughly. So they answer roughly, disrespectfully, because they're in a position of power. They do not have to respect the poor, because the poor is the poor is subject and subjugated to the ones in position of power. So that's 18 and 23. This currency is going to lead to ultimately stages relating to a certain chapter relating to Revelations 13, 15 on down, man. So we doing incremental steps, man. You know, pretty much a one currency, one world type thing, man. This was just something fast. Let me get from a GNT. Let me get it from a GNT. See what it says. GNT. Let me see. This is GNT. This is Proverbs 18 and 23. When the poor speak, they had to be polite. So they had to be polite, man. They had to mind their manners. They had to be polite. Why is that? They're at the bottom, man. They're servants. They're slaves to what? The ones who they had to be polite to, man. They're subject to their payments. They're subject to their unrighteous decrees. They're subject to their unrighteous tributary. So they're at their mercy, man. Economically and otherwise. Let's read it again. When the poor speak, they have to be polite. But when the rich answer, they are rude. So when the rich answer, that goes to being rough, rude, disrespectful, man. And when you look up rude, that means derogative, offensive, lacking elegance, man. So they don't have to be polite to you, man, because they're in a position of power, man. I want to get 22 of I want to get 22 of 7, and we'll call this one short. This is 22 and 7. GNT. Poor people are slaves of the rich. Slaves goes to what? Servants, man. So you pretty much you're a slave to the ones in the position of power, and the ones who really are in the position of power, one who controls the money controls the world, man. That's the banking families, the Oppenheimers, the Gettys, the DuPonts, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, man. The ones you don't see, the ones that are behind closed doors, really running the show, and have little puppets that, little rich puppets as front men, man. But the ones behind that would be the ones you don't see, man. Poor people are slaves of the rich, borrow money, and you are a lender's slave. So when you borrow money, you're a slave and servant to that lender, as Proverbs 22. You're subject to the payments. You're subject to different things because you're a slave to that, man, of that borrower, man. So you and everybody in this society is a slave to this system, man. Everybody. I don't care if you got money. I don't care if you got a nice house, a car, and different things. You're still a slave in this system, man. Because you have to bust your ass to keep the work, so you can keep that lifestyle, hopefully. And by the way, that lifestyle can be taken just like that, man. Anyway, you know what I mean? Because under the FEMA code laws, they have a right to take personal, private property, man. Even you, they could put you in the camps, go into the code laws relating to the FEMA camp laws. You know what I mean? 10,9997, 11,000 code, FEMA code 11,000, and different codes, man, right into the FEMA codes. They can even put you in work camps, man. These are things in their books, man. So they can take your personal private, they can control private, public roads, anything, airports, different things, man. They can take control of it if they need to, man. These are things that are in the code laws, man. I did a lesson this a couple of years ago. So they have control over you, man. You're a servant to them, man. They could take your personal vehicle, property, and different things. That's why you're really registered with them. How you registered? Through birth certificate, through your driver's license, just like you register your car and different things. You register weapons and stuff, different things. So you under the registration and ownership of the ones in position of power, man, which is the one who runs the world. Job 9:24, the earth has been given to the hands of the wicked, man. So you're a name and number, literally. That's why you have a social security number. That's why you have birth certificate and different things, man. That's part of that ownership. Your ownership as soon as you were put on this planet, man. Born, man. When you go to the debt clock, you look at that, you'll see what I'm talking about. That being said, this is something short, relating to that article. I want to give all praise Yahweh Bashim Yoshua Bashim Rakakada Zayah Warshallah.